With this fifth video, we will start introducing the post-production phase of photography. First of all, we need to be aware of the fact that nowadays, digital tools make some post-production for us by default. So if we don't want that, we need to tell it to our machines. In digital cameras, for example, we might want the camera to save the images in a file format, which is called RAW, which, unlike JPEG file formats, preserve all the. So we do not need to be fundamentalists against post-production, thinking that the post-production is something evil that spoils the genuinity of a picture or of our vision. On the contrary, it's a fundamental phase, an important part of the creative process that's important to know, at least in its basic features, in order to be able to share our view, what we intend to show, what we think we saw. During this post-production phase, we have the chance, in fact, to reflect and to analyze, without being too judgmental, on our pictures, in the same way that we do when we read something about meditation, or we listen to someone talking about meditation. Of course, the practice of meditation is the most important part of it, but having some moments dedicated to reflect peacefully and without harsh judgments on our meditation is very important as well. After all, even in photography, before the digital age, post-production was widely used and an important phase of the work of a photographer. It's just that now we move from the darkroom to the computer. So don't be afraid to play with your pictures and find the right solution for you. Of course, you can rely on presets that most of the devices and programs offer, but understanding what's going on under these processes are key to work attentively and with the right awareness. Knowing what the result might be helps you in creating a picture that corresponds to your first impression, to your first vision. So I invite you to take these fundamental 6 steps in working with your images. These are very basic but crucial steps that might take you no more than a couple of minutes per picture, but that can really enhance your photography. Step number 1. Cut and straighten your picture. It seems like an easy and banal thing to do, but here you're taking a fundamental decision. As we said in the second video, composition is one of the main tools that a photographer has in his or her hands. Through composition, you can give a predominance to your subject. You decide what to include and what to exclude from your frame. So please, cut consciously and be fully aware of this process. And straighten your image correctly, unless you don't want to donate a specific effect to your image. As you can imagine, a twisted image is a precarious one and usually disturbs the viewer, whereas a straight image gives a sense of peace and calm. Step number 2. Brightness. Check if your image is bright enough. With this tool, you can increase or decrease its brightness. You just need to keep in mind that if you use images with an electronic device, your photo will be backlit in any case. So step number 3. Contrast. With contrast, you can highlight the difference between, for example, some colors. The more contrast, the more vivid the colors will appear. Less contrast, less differences you will see. This, of course, will significantly change the mood of your work. So experiment with it and concentrate on the result that you want to obtain. Step number 4. Hue. With the Hue command, you can change the hue values of the colors of your image. We don't need to go in depth in understanding the theory of colors that lies behind it. We can surely use this setting if you are not happy with the colors of our image and see what changes. Once again, I suggest experimenting practically with these settings. There is a ratio behind all these features, but then the final decision needs to be taken according to our personal taste. Step number 5. Saturation. With an increase of saturation, your colors will be more strong and pure, so use it carefully. Sharpness. Sharpening enhances the definition of edges in an image. So once again, experiment widely, but when in doubt, try not to exaggerate. We don't want our pictures to look fake images. Or maybe yes, but in that case I suggest having a strategy and then an idea behind your choice. Last thing, all these settings can be applied to all your image, to the whole of your image, or just to a portion of it. So you can find in your tool, in your software, how to do this. And this is something that can be very useful, but also very entertaining in doing so. So for today, this is it. I thank you very much for your attention. And again, if you want, you can send me your thoughts and your pictures using this email address: enos.fotografia@gmail.com.